What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I saw this story late Friday night, and I didn't forget about it. And January, which is now, 2024, marks the 1-year mark since the tragedy that befell Tyre Nichols out there in Memphis. Shout out Memphis. And some more stuff is coming out involving the case and maneuvering of about, from the defense of trying to get certain things in order to where they deem it as a fair trial. Latest news is about one of the 5 police officers, Demetrius Haley. Now, Demetrius Haley was involved in a traffic stop and one of the people involved in the beating death of Tyre Nichols. Now, check this out. He wants to have his trial moved outside of Memphis. Now, remember in June of 2023, Darius Bean tried that. Hey, we would have moved the trial out of Memphis. You know what I'm saying? Citing a bunch of stuff, saying it was infected by the media, meaning the story has been put out so much that all of a sudden, he can't get a fair trial because so much was said. And I'll get into that a little bit later on. But I want to show you this video clip real quick. Now, Demetrius Haley, his defense team is trying the same thing. I don't think it's going to happen. In fact, I know it's not going to happen. And all of this is just a bunch of hot air and wasted breath to no avail. Check out the news clip and we'll come back and dissect this. Check it.
2 new developments tonight concerning federal charges against 5 former Memphis police officers charged with killing Tyre Nichols. A second officer is asking for his trial to be moved out of Shelby County as the state responds to a similar request made by another officer earlier this month. Kim Clark is in studio with details. Kim.
Well, Joy, former Memphis police officer Demetrius Haley is one of 5 former officers charged with second-degree murder in the death of Tyre Nichols. This week, Haley's attorney filed a change of venue request to move the trial to Jackson, Tennessee. He also wants jurors to be chosen from outside Shelby, Fayette, Tipton, and Lauderdale counties. Haley is the second officer charged in the case to make a change of venue request. The first came from former officer Darius Bean. Police body cam footage released by the city of Memphis and aired by media outlets nationally shows what happened the night Tyre Nichols died in January of last year. Bean's attorney claims that pretrial publicity could prevent his client from getting a fair trial in Shelby County and asked for a change of venue. Citing publicity surrounding Tyre Nichols' death, the emotional ties between the city of Memphis, and the case statements made by public officials, the release of video without contacts, and concerns about jury pool selection. Within the past 24 hours, the state responded to that request, in short, stating Bean had, quote, failed to meet his heavy burden of demonstrating local prejudice so severe and widespread as to justify the presumption that an impartial jury cannot be impaneled, end quote. The trial is scheduled to begin the first full week of May, and Action News 5 will provide team coverage from beginning to end. In the studio, I'm Kim Clark.
All right, guys. That's the reason why Demetrius Haley wants to get his trial moved out of the city of Memphis, claiming local prejudice is widespread. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If these were regular people that did this and weren't police, do you think at any given time, any person that was charged of a crime would say, hey, I want my trial moved away from the scene of the crime because there's too much local prejudice? You think that would fly? No. Why should this? And it won't fly. Reason why it won't fly is it seems as though they're trying to put it on the city of Memphis, the citizens in the city of Memphis, where they would have to pull jurors from They're trying to put it on there like saying it's a database of where they would have to get people to give an honest assessment of what they seen as jurors in the trial when they had to pass judgment on these 5 officers. Ain't that some mess? Think about it. Their issue is not the citizens who are appalled in the city of Memphis, but actually the mass media themselves. They said the case was what? Infected by media. This case was shown nationally, the beating nationally. Tyre Nichols' family had to see this all over different channels because this was huge news, both in the country and outside the country. I myself got subscribers from other countries, Australia, UK, and other places that say, hey, I've been with you since the Tyre Nichols trial, man. That was a messed up thing, man. You know what I'm saying? We hope they get justice over there. So what are you talking about? See, the thing that moved me the most with this whole situation was I've never seen a bunch of cops pull somebody out of a car without asking any type of reason of why, pulling them over, snatch them out the car, hit on them, talk to them like they weren't police officers in a non-professional manner. The guy is complying with you, and it's a bunch of hysteria and chaos as if everybody had a vendetta against him. You seen the rumor that was running around that I debunked where everybody was saying, hey, a girl was involved in all of this stuff because the way they acted, police don't act like that, even though brutality is something that happens nationally from time to time with police. This right here was a mystery that baffled all of us. Why would you treat that man like that? Y'all agree or disagree? Come on. Let's put this up here on the board. Boom. These are the 5 things that they're talking about, right? Before I get into them, I'm going to talk about one other thing. Said, because of local prejudice and, the juries would be tainted in Memphis, right? It happened in Memphis. Why can't it stay in Memphis? Just like the prosecutor said, it happened here. So why are you trying to move it somewhere else? Tyre Nichols was beaten in Memphis. He was stopped in Memphis. He was chased in Memphis. Why you want to move it somewhere else? He wasn't there. He was there. What do they say is a quote, the scene of the crime? The scene of the crime was in Memphis. So the judgment shouldn't be nowhere else. See, the thing is, they don't call this thing criminal justice for nothing. We've seen a lot of times criminals get to walk because their lawyer was better in the courtroom than the other lawyer. Now, granted, I'm sure these guys got good lawyers because this is a big case. But I mean, a lot has been said. A lot of goofiness with some of the lawyers have been said. A lot of lies have been said. A lot of discrediting of a dead man, Tyre Nichols, has been said. Right in front of his mother. Some of it. Remember? Today's Bean lawyer. Oh, he was high on drugs. He had superhuman strength. He had hallucinogens. And all that was a myth. Said it right in front of his mother in the court. Remember you heard her in the background? Rovine Wells, shout out. You heard her? What? They're grasping for straws. You know what I'm saying? Let's break this down real quick. First thing is they said the publicity, which we had just addressed. Too many people know about it. So it's a crime. You think when serial killers and all these other type of people be out here and they get national publicity for a heinous crime they did, they gonna complain about the publicity? Sometimes it's good. They don't want the publicity because they look bad, real bad. Not only to all of America, but especially to Black America, because we couldn't understand why somebody that looked like us would do something to somebody that looked like them. Y'all agree or disagree on that? Publicity. Too many people know about it. Let's move this outside of Shelby, Fayette, Tipton County, and Lauderdale County. Anybody with eyes can see an injustice was done to Tyre Nichols. Whether you red, black, white, green, yellow, or purple. Let's get up to here. Get this thing over with. Publicity. We already talked about publicity. The emotional ties to the case. Let's get on that. When I seen that, my heart sank. Especially the part at the end when he was right down the street from his house, seconds away from his house in a Sprint, calling for his mother. They telling him shut the F up, beating on him, maced him so much they all maced each other. Keystone Coppery at its finest. Pummeled him, left him out there, didn't render aid. Brought other people who came and stared at him like a zoo exhibit as he was over there beat up and bleeding out. Can't get no more emotional than that, going to the house and lying to his damn mom about what happened and he on drugs and all this other stuff. Didn't know none of it. What was real or not. A lot more people need to be sitting up there with these 5 dudes. But I mean, we talked about that too. The emotional ties to the case. Yeah, well, all of America was outraged and emotional. And you will be too if you really watch the tape. They know what they did was wrong. That's why Desmond Mills Jr. immediately jumped ship and tried to go over there to the other side. I honestly think Tre'Davious Bean was the one that the deal was going to come to him. He didn't hit Tre'Davious Bean. Remember that? Right when they went to the arraignment, he didn't hit Tre'Davious Bean lawyer. He didn't hit Tyre Nichols. He was already setting it up. Maybe if I leave the door cracked, somebody would come in and offer me a deal. Never happened. Your boy beat you to the punch. And he's wrong too. Emotional. Yeah, it's emotional. Nationally and internationally. So moving it out of these 4 counties don't mean nothing because other people do know about the story. So that's the thing. Let's take this case and go in front of a bunch of people that we think have limited access to the case or don't even know who Tyre Nichols was. Our best chance, we can't go out of the state, so our best chance is to just push it out. Hopefully, we'll get justice. Let me tell you something. If I beat you up on the seat, like they beat Tyre Nichols up on a city street, and everybody on the street saw it, right? Say the street was Memphis. And normal protocol for law means your trial and you being judged will be by the people on that street because that's the immediate vicinity that this happened. You understand what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, here comes a lawyer and says, hey, you know what? We want to move it to another neighborhood. Let's move it to another block. That way we'll get fair treatment. I told y'all before, the way court is basically 2 lawyers. The ones that's more theatrical and flashy and more convincing is the one that wins, whether the person did it or not. That's your proof right there. Let's move this to another county where people didn't really see that much or people don't have that much, people don't really care because it didn't happen in that area. He would have pushed it to what? Western District of Jackson, Tennessee. Now, I'm not from Tennessee, and I need you guys to comment for these subscribers. Why do you think he picked that place, Jackson, Tennessee? I don't know. I don't want to guesstimate on that. Let's move to point number 3. Public official statements, meaning stuff CJ Davis said, negative about the officers, they're rogue, all this other stuff. Oh, the public official statement clouded the judgment of the jurors, of jurors that could be potentially picked to give our 5 defendants justice or a fair trial. They ain't the only people that said something. Like I said, your real problem is the mass media and this thing exploding like wildfire where other people seen it. Other cities was tore up somewhat. People were locked up. in outrage, tearing up cities that ain't have nothing to do with this trial. Mayor Strickland, when he was mayor, and C.J. Davis, did you see the worry on their face the day they was going to release that tape? Please, we're going to do it unedited. We're going to look. These 5 people put the whole city of Memphis at risk. C.J. Davis too. I mean, you don't have supervisors to supervise these people, these police. If they rogue officers, like she said, I didn't know. And you know what? Honestly, guys, I'm starting to believe she didn't know. You know why? Because just a couple of days ago, they said 7 more officers got decommissioned outside of this from doing something else in the street. It's not looking good for her out there, but man, I'll get on that in another video. But the public official statements, yeah, some of the statements the lawyers made too on the defense side is out there. A lawyer's a public official. He didn't strike Tadarius Bean didn't strike Tyre Nichols. We look on the video, he hit him. Other lawyer, yeah, Justin Smith. He didn't strike him. Yeah, he did. He did. Everybody's scattering like roaches when the light came on. But the box that they're all in is this big. No matter where you go, you still in the corner and the light's on you. Ain't no getting away from this. The release of video of the Tyre Nichols video without contents. It had sound on it. And if that's the case, y'all wouldn't have been putting up motions and arguing and stuff to let the other part of it be released to the public that we still ain't heard. See the game? Y'all see the game? Oh, the release of the video was without contents. You can look at videos a lot of times and put 2 and 2 together. So now the public is stupid. They talked to him like he was common trash and treated him like such in the street. They beat the man so bad with so much hysteria and confusion at stop 1. He ran damn near a mile to his house through the woods. I showed you on a video when I went down into Memphis from stop 1 to stop 2 to show you the distance of it. By car, I drove. It took a while to get from that light at the first stop all the way to his street corner, home street corner. Without contents, the video. We seen all we need to see. They got all that video, and then they still didn't show the other part of my. Oh, we got 6 to 8 hours of video we never even showed. Still ain't seen it. That's why when I go down there to that trial, y'all, I don't know how many days I can be down there, and hopefully I can get in that courtroom. I'm gonna come back with information y'all didn't need to know, and you know me, I'm gonna blast them on here. Because they deserve to be blasted. What they did was messed up. Messed up. Above the law. Supposed to be protecting and serving. Law and order. Nothing but hell and chaos. Now all of a sudden, we need a fair trial. But he didn't get a fair trial when he was out there. He was guilty already when you snatched his ass out the car. Let's get to this next point. Final point. Concerns about the jury pool selection, right? Which we talked about that. It happened in Vegas. It happened in Memphis. Get the jury from Memphis. Think about that. You did something messed up in a city that is more than capable of handling a trial, but that's not enough for you. When these cops was locking these people up, that same juries, if they went to trial, would try them. Why can't they try you? You same lawyers that had other clients went around the same type of jurors from Memphis. Why these ones can't? They're decommissioned, so they're not cops no more. They just regular ninjas that was doing ninja stuff in the badge. All in all, this whole thing make me sick, man. All this dancing and going back and forth and political stuff with motions to file this, motions to do this. Now all of a sudden, they don't trust the people, the people of Memphis. Give me a break. He'll get his justice. Hopefully I'll be down there to see it. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Justice for Tyre.